Welcome to the Lead Pedal Podcast with your host, Bruce Outridge, where he talks all things trucking. Now let's get rolling.
Oh, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to another edition of the Lead Pedal Podcast. Today is part 3 of our series on retaining drivers and how to keep them happy. We talked about what drivers are looking for in part 1. We talked about why they leave in part 2, and today we're in part 3, and how you as a carrier can keep drivers for 2026 is a very important conversation. Before we get into the conversation, let me tell you a little bit about Bison Transport. That's right, they're looking for owner-operators for their fleet, and they have one of the safest fleets in North America. They're looking for owner-operators, and the cool thing about being an owner-operator with them, you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself, and that is the coolest thing. They've got support staff that can help you. They've got discounts on fuel. They've got discounts on tires. They've got discounts on maintenance. They have preferred, stuff as far as getting things fixed and parts and all that. So, I mean, is that what you want, to keep more money in your pocket? Isn't that what you're doing this for? So if you've been trying to do it on your own and maybe it's not working out as well as you thought, and you want to make sure you got steady freight, steady miles, and great pay, then Bison Transport is where you should look. They got opportunities available all the time, so check out bisondriving.com to find out what's current opportunities, and make sure you tell them that we sent you. All right, let's get into our podcast episode for today.
Be sure to share the podcast on your favorite social media channels.
All right, so we are talking today about how carriers can keep drivers. This is an extremely important topic, especially going into 2026. So I know that you want to stay tuned. There's a lot of people, I know a lot of recruiters. I know a ton of recruiters. And even the recruiters move sometimes because they're going, hey, we're telling people one thing and it's not what we're seeing. And that is what's very true for drivers too. They're told one thing, they come in and they don't see what they were told. So making sure that you start up front with being right up front and making sure people understand exactly what your operation is like. No two trucking companies are the same. Even if they haul the same stuff, no two trucking companies are the same. So carriers that want to keep drivers need to think about leadership. And I mentioned this in the last episode that because this is an important part for me and something that I didn't realize is the growth for those drivers. A lot of times we bring drivers on with a carrier and we just go, okay, they're just, they're on drivers, and we think that they're just going to stay with us for another 50, 60 years if they started when they were 10. Most drivers will come in when they're in their 20s or start driving in their 20s, maybe a little later, depending on in today's world. But do we really expect someone just to stay in the same role, in fact, in the same seat for 30 plus years without wanting to do something different, going up and down the road day after day? If that's your carrier, if that's how you think that, we just got to bring trucks on, that's all about bringing on the money, we have nowhere for them to go, I can tell you, you're just wasting your time. You want to know why there's so much turnover in the industry? It's because a lot of drivers get frustrated. It could be an exciting job to start. I mean, most of the trucking companies I worked for were great. When I started, I loved working there. I loved working there years in. But there's coming a point where you go, you know what? I need to try something different. So as a carrier, are you making opportunities for your drivers to find out to so that they can grow? Is it training? Is it something they can do on the side? Is it a hobby that can be incorporated? There's got to be something to get the people staying with you and understanding that they feel important. You know what? Train your dispatchers. Do they work with the drivers, not against them? We talked about this in the last episode as to why people leave. During inspections and incidents, are you getting down on your drivers right away, or are you the first ones to help support them, make sure that they're okay? If the first thing you ask is how's the truck, not how's the driver, you got an issue going on right there. Encourage reporting issues instead of hiding them. There's a reason drivers don't want to put anything down on inspection sheets because, it's just a delay for them. It's it's a delay. You know, a lot of times the company doesn't even respond or tells them get down the road anyway. Well, why would I take the time to document and report and do everything I'm supposed to do the right way if as a company you're going to say, oh, you know, we don't got time for that, or we don't care about that, or whatever it might be. So make sure that you're supporting your drivers. Treat safety as a value, not a slogan. Oh, such a good one. You know, people often say, you know what? Yeah, we're the safest truck. A lot of people say that. And then when we look at their safety record, it's quite different. So you want to think about that. Drivers stay where they feel respected, supported, and protected. Drivers stay where they feel respected, supported, and protected. And I'm going to play an interview I did with James Mooney. Now, Jason Mooney. Jason won the Hall of Fame Driver of the Year in 2025. He's with Coca-Cola Canada. Started out as a driver and is now, he's still a Hall of Fame driver, but he's also in training and that kind of thing. And I'm going to talk to him about why he's staying at a company like Coca-Cola.
Especially when we first moved to Brampton about 23 years ago. Just how busy everything's getting, how everyone drives a lot quicker. I find courtesy's kind of a little bit gone.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't really think. I wish new drivers kind of understood about truck drivers and you don't have the distance to stop and that kind of stuff, but you evolve with it. You just get smarter as you drive and you figure it out.
Yeah. So how do you stay safe for that long a time? It's hard out there because everybody else seems to be against you, right? So what type of things are you doing to make sure you, like, is trip planning still a thing, or am I just really sounding old?
No, it's very much so. It's very much like that I know we're like, because I've been driving the areas. I drive downtown Toronto a lot.
Oh, lucky you.
We're from Kitchener all the way out to Oshawa.
Okay.
And then the GTA. Yeah. So I've been driving it so much, so you know where to go, know how to get there, know how to avoid traffic, how to kind of do all that stuff. So knowing the areas and where you're going all the time helps you out quite a bit.
Everybody here laughs at me because if I have a meeting in Mississauga, I'm there like 6 a.m. for an 8 o'clock. I live in Burlington, right? You know, but I just hate traffic that much that I'm like way early. I always say I can make up time. I can't waste time. I can't make up time, right? So I know every Tim Hortons wherever it is. So now what's next for you? Are you doing a lot of work outside of Coca-Cola? It sounds like you're coaching hockey and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, I've been coaching for the last 17, 18 years. I've been coaching hockey, so and it eats up quite a bit of my time. The best part about it is I do it with my youngest son. Okay. We coach together, and two other guys that the one guy I've coached with the longest. He's a younger guy too, so I'm kind of the old guy.
Someone's got to have all the knowledge.
The young guys bring in the new edge, but it's awesome. We have a great time doing it, and we love doing it. So we wouldn't do it if we didn't like it.
So how do you find the time to do that? Trucking's a demanding job. What kind of schedule are you guys on at Coca-Cola? Would you be on 60 hours a week probably, or
so
something like that? Or?
I start pretty early in the morning, so it leaves quite a bit of time for me on the evening.
But you got to go to bed early. I know all about that 3 a.m. start. You got to go to bed at 7.
That's right. But you know what? Coke's very flexible and versatile. Yeah. They're actually a really good company that kind of gives you that option of starting when you want to start and finishing when you want to finish. So it's really good, and I'm fortunate to be able to start so early in the morning and be able to do my coaching at night.
And they encourage you to do that?
By far my favorite station.
You're the best. Oh, yeah.
I love you guys.
Hey, are you looking for a place to get some great training if you are starting your trucking career or your heavy equipment career? Ontario Truck Driving School is where you should start. They've got opportunities and locations all throughout Ontario, Canada. They've got 9 locations in the province. Go to otds.com to find out all about their programming and what options are available. They've been around since 1978. They're one of the upstanding schools. They've been around. They've helped form different associations and stuff like that. So you know that they're vested in what they do. They're a top-notch school, and you want to start your training somewhere that's going to give you the credibility and the foundation for a long career in trucking. So check out otds.com and tell them that we sent you. All right, let's get into the rest of our episode here. We've been talking about keeping drivers in 2026. And as you heard in that interview I did with Jason Mooney, he's been doing this for a long time. He's a Hall of Fame driver, still driving, still on the road. But you know what? He's moving into other things. And he works for Coca-Cola here in Ontario, Canada. And you can see that Coca-Cola understands by keeping somebody that's been around that long that they're going to want to do other things, and Coke allows them to do that to a certain point so that they can enjoy that. That's why they're staying. There's a real reason right there why people stay. It's because they've got the flexibility to have a life and enjoy life with their family while doing their job. If your carrier is not built like that, then you might want to start thinking about what you should do and how to do that. If you're an owner-operator and you've got a small carrier, can I suggest that you check out RS2000 Tax Services? They're a great sponsor of the show, and I can tell you that we use them ourselves. They really know their stuff. They specialize in the trucking and farming industries. So if you're in business for yourself or you're in the trucking industry and you want to see how you can keep money in your pocket, then RS2000 Tax Consultants is where you should start. All right, so that brings us to the end of another episode. Thanks very much. Our next episode series, if you're listening to this in order, will be on immigration and new drivers coming into the industry. So make sure you join us for that. We appreciate you listening. Subscribe, because we're doing series now for 2026 on the podcast. And you want to subscribe so you can get your episodes in order, as they say. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
This has been another episode of the Lead Pedal Podcast. For more information or to subscribe to the podcast, visit theleadpedalpodcast.com and be sure to follow the podcast on Facebook and Twitter.